Good morning, everyone. The title of the research paper is Socio-Economic Development of Villages. Uh, Talking about the author, it is Professor Alok Ranjan, who is Senior Most Professor of Department of Architecture and Planning from MNIT Jaipur. And I'm Rituja Giramkar, student of MPlan first year, Department of Architecture and Planning, MNIT Jaipur. So, talking about the introduction of the socio-economic development of the villages. Uh, The evolution in the transportation sector of India has caused that is due to the development of the area with a good transportation facility. As the areas are joined or connected with a better transportation facility, there is evolution in the transportation sector of India. Development of the transportation network contributes to the social, economic, and industrial development in that area, which results into the overall development of the country. As we have seen since the ancient times, people have preferred to reside near the transportation route. It may be roads, riverside, or seashores. Then talking about the major problems which people faces in the rural areas, like according to the census of 2011, around 68.84 percentage of the population of the India resides in the rural areas. But the problems which has been faced by the rural areas are major problems are lack of education, basic lack of basic infrastructure facilities, then poverty and limited access to the technology. So reason for growth of the population in the urban areas can be said as the education facilities which has been provided in the urban areas, employment opportunities which are been there, infrastructure and healthcare facilities, and connectivity within the urban area, which is good in the urban areas, and that's why people from the rural areas migrate into the urban areas. As wherever there are inadequate facilities provided in the urban areas and low income group is residing, slum is formed in the urban areas. So, in somehow we can reduce this migration rate by providing efficient transportation. This can be related to the people who have been daily traveling for their educational for the educational purpose and for the work, that they travel on the daily basis. So, if the good migration facilities from rural areas to urban areas is been provided, these trips can be reduced, and migration from the migration from the rural areas to urban areas can also be reduced. This development in the transportation facilities will also help the low income group people to secure the basic necessities of life, which includes the food, shelter, water, and clothing in the village itself. As we talk about the rates of everything, that is food, shelter, water, and fodder in the village areas is very less. So even the low income group people can also live in the rural areas with a good life. So talking about if better markets are available at reasonable transportation cost, then farmers will shift to favor of cash crops, resulting in the commercialization of urban agricultural activities. Talking further, transportation is considered as one of the prime factors for the economic development of any area. The economic growth of the villages is mostly dependent on the agricultural products, as the economy of that village areas is dependent on what they have been procured from the agriculture. So transportation need of the transportation in the agricultural sector is that at the if we talk in the stages, at the production stage it is required transportation is required for carrying the raw materials like seeds of the crops or seedlings or fertilizers and insecticides. And at the distribution stage, to transport the final agriculture product to market and factories, transportation is required. At for the some products, if the agricultural facility for the some product, if the transportation network provided is very good, then uh, it can reach to desired location at the earliest. So, if inadequate transportation facilities in the rural areas create delays in the production and manufacturing industry and distribution of the food items at the right place. So, this whole procedure just slow down the socio-economic growth of the area, as there is a delay in the production, manufacturing, and distribution of the product. So, if the transportation network in the rural areas is improved, The improved transportation services in the village areas will lead to improved access to market areas, which will help in better availability of farm produce at a reasonable price in the urban areas also. So if infrastructure development is observed alongside the roads only of any city or villages. If we talk about the physical infrastructure facilities, which is like water supply or the which is provided by the government agencies or panchayat in the villages, electricity supply and telecommunication work, it is provided alongside the road itself. So the other facilities such as educational facilities, healthcare facilities are located on the main road of the villages to give better connectivity and convenience to people. We have observed that if the distance from the main road increases, the facilities provided inside the area is very less as compared to the facilities which are provided on the main road. So even the investor also prefers the area which has been well connected with the urban areas with the help of roads or rail networks. So with the development of the road and rail network in the villages, the manufacturing industries will grow around the villages, which will create more employment opportunities in the non-agricultural sector along with the agricultural sector. While providing the transportation facilities in the village areas, the main objective of the transportation facilities should be to provide an economical, safe, sustainable, and persistent and efficient road network in the village areas. Nowadays, while designing or constructing and maintaining the road infrastructure, the changes due to weather and extreme climatic condition need to be considered as to like due to changing scenario of the climatic condition, the designing, construction and maintenance of the road are facing the new challenges and which require the huge amount to deal with it. So road authorities which has been responsible for the design, construction and maintenance of the road should consider this changing scenario and should design the road and transportation facilities according to the need of the people. So somehow to overcome these problems in the rural areas, Government of India has started the programs like Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana for construction of the good all-weather village roads connectivity. Maintenance of this road has to be done by the state government out of their budgetary resources. The funding for which should come from state government. So the current maintenance issues in village road, which has been faced by some villages, are most of the village roads are seriously affected due to inadequate provisions of maintenance grants, which are to be done by the state government out of their budgetary resources. So, and almost like 90% of the existing village road length is metal, and top layer of bitumen is damaged and is not in traffic worthy condition. In some of the places, the village roads are constructed with the help of black topping, which is highly damaged and requires a renewal coat. So basically, the construction and the maintenance work of the same or existing road condition huge funding requires a huge funding. Now, talking about the if rigid payments are used in the construction of the village road, how is the feasibility of this rigid payment? So basically, rigid payments requires the more time to complete the construction as the curing period for the concrete is 28 days and it requires 28 days to open the CC pavement to the traffic. So if that is the only road available which connects the village to the other villages, it is very difficult to close this road for such a long duration. And again, the maintenance cost of the rigid pavement is low as compared to the flexible pavement, but the initial construction cost of the rigid pavement is very high, and it is uneconomic to cut the CC pavement. So basically, if there are two if therefore if there are any supply lines which should be planned or provided, so it have to be planned before the CC pavement is constructed. Also, the restoring of the CC pavement is also very difficult. Now, talking about the feasibility of flexible payments in the construction of the village road, if the flexible payments are used in the construction of village, it has a shorter lifespan as compared to the rigid payments. Though the initial cost of the construction of the flexible payment, that is bituminous payment, is low as compared to the rigid payments, but the maintenance cost is very high that it need to be maintained at a regular intervals. So the flexible payment has a shorter lifespan as compared to the rigid payment. It also gets affected very easily by high traffic volume, temperature changes, and stagnant water, which results in the deterioration of the pavement, which causes the rutting and pothole formation in the road. So, if the construction of the road is to be done through weak subgrade soil and the road carrying capacity road carrying and the road is carrying the heavy traffic, the thickness of the flexible pavement has to be more, and which requires the more amount of subgrade soil, which requires a more hard aggregate, and it increases the cost of the project. So even under the wet weather condition, the visibility of bituminous pavement is very low at the night time. That's why the feasibility of flexible pavements in the construction of village roads is very low. So now to come out with the options, there is a need to evolution of new technology for new roads as well as for maintenance of the damaged existing roads, which will be economical. So the quality of the pavement should also overcome the disadvantages of existing pavement technology, and it should be sustainable also. Now, to overcome the disadvantages of the rigid and flexible pavement in the construction of the village roads, there is one option that cement grouted bituminous macadam, that is CGBM, can be considered as one of the options. The CGBM is a pavement that consists of voided bituminous surface and then which is then filled with highly flowable cementitious grout. The new type of cement grouted bituminous macadam pavement is also becoming popular due to green construction practices. Now, talking about the advantages which cement grouted bituminous macadam provides over rigid and flexible pavements are, uh, it can be constructed quickly as compared to CC pavement. That flexural strength of the pavement of CGBM pavement is more than that of flexible pavement, that is bituminous macadam. Its good relaxation can reduce the quantity of temperature joints, which will increase the driving comfort on the road as compared to the cement concrete pavement roads. As the pavement has stronger rigidity, it ensures a higher tolerance of the roads without causing any rut. So basically, the rutting of these roads will be less as compared to the bituminous macadam road. It has good fuel spill resistance and colorability, which rigid pavement lacks. Then it is highly resistant to permanent deformation, and it has a higher stiffness modulus and resistance to the abrasion of the CGPM is also very. So after going with the advantages of the cement grouted bituminous macadam, the conclusion by concluding this paper that for the overall development of the country's socio-economic growth, the growth of the villages should also be taken into consideration, as the rural areas also help in the socio-economic growth of the country. The better connectivity between the village will lead to increase in the population, production, and the manufacturing industry, which will provide non-agricultural employment to the nearby people. And cement grouted bituminous macadam, that is CGBM, is an economical solution for the construction of village or low volume road, which will connect the rural areas to urban areas, and transportation network can be improved, which will overall improve the which will overall cause the socio-economic growth of the country and improve the socio-economic conditions of the rural areas. So now talking about the references, these are some references I have used for this research work. Thank you. Thank you.